The voice that almost ruined me never came from the darkness. It came from my own mouth. I thought my biggest enemy would look like someone else, a liar, a stranger, a face I could blame. But the voice that followed me into every room knew my secrets, knew my failures, knew exactly which memory to reopen. And the terrifying part, it sounded like me. Same tone, same breath, same mouth that once said, "You'll never make it, you always ruin everything, they're gonna leave, you don't deserve what you're asking for." I spent years calling that voice truth. The mirror wasn't cruel, I was.
The voice I fear sounds like mine.
It knows how to turn one mistake into an identity, one rejection into a prophecy, one bad night into a lifetime. It
Doesn't scream,
it whispers with my accent, and somehow that makes the life feel holy. I learned how self-doubt builds a house. First it gives you a room, then a chair, then a bed. Then one day you realize you've been living inside a thought you never questioned. I call myself realistic, but honestly I was rehearsing failure before life even had the chance to answer. That's not wisdom, that's fear wearing glasses. Be careful when your inner critic starts calling itself common sense. Some lies get dangerous when they sound mature. I stopped applying, calling, trying. Told myself I was protecting my peace, but peace doesn't ask you to abandon your future. Fear does. I confused avoidance with healing, silence with control, isolation with strength. And every time I backed away, the voice got louder. See, I told you, you're not built for this. That's how a lie proves itself. It convinces you to behave like it's true. What if the reason your worst thoughts feel convincing is because you've been collecting evidence for them your whole life? You remember every failure but forget every recovery. Remember who left, forget who stayed. Remember what broke, forget what you rebuilt. Maybe the voice isn't honest, maybe it's selective. I started keeping receipts, not money proof. The day I thought I couldn't handle it and did the interview, I almost skipped the conversation. I was terrified to have the morning I got up even though the night was heavy.
small evidence,
But evidence, every time the voice said, "You always fail," I answered, "Not always."
that sentence.
Was enough to crack the
The
wall.
voice I fear sounds like
But
mine.
now I've learned its habits, its peace and absolutes.
Always,
Never,
everyone.
no one. Truth usually sounds more complicated. For when the voice says, "You're worthless," I ask, according to what? When it says you can't change,
I ask
who benefits if I believe that?
questions,
Turn whispers into
evidence.
I looked at childhood pictures, there I was before comparison, before rejection became a mirror, before criticism moved into my head and started paying rent with my own voice. That child never said, "You're not enough." Someone taught them, maybe directly, maybe slowly, maybe through silence, maybe through being praised only when useful, maybe through love that felt conditional. And one day, the outside voices stopped speaking, but mine kept repeating them.
Some of the cruelest things
You say to yourself, were taught to you by people who no longer have access to your life. So why do they still have access to your voice? I started tracing the sentences. Don't embarrass yourself. That one sounded like a teacher. You're too sensitive. That sounded like someone who hated accountability. You'll never be successful. That one was familiar too. Suddenly I realized my inner voice wasn't entirely mine. It was a choir of old wolves wearing one mouth that changed everything. Because if the voice was love,
maybe it can be unlearned.
not every thought deserves a chair at your table. Some should be heard, then asked to leave. So I practiced a different language, not fake positivity, not pretending everything was perfect, just accuracy. I made a mistake, not I am a mistake. I'm scared, not I'm weak. They rejected me, not I'm unworthy.
I need help.
Not I'm a burden. The difference looked small on paper. It felt enormous inside my chest. Because language doesn't only describe reality, sometimes it builds it.
I stood in front of the mirror
and said, I'm sorry.
Now there's someone else to me.
For every insult I disguised as discipline every time I called myself. I thought silencing the voice would save me. Then I realized I had to become someone louder than it. The morning after, I answered back. The voice was still there. Same timing, same accusation, same habit of arriving before confidence was fully awake. But something had changed. It sounded smaller, not weaker, smaller, like a giant. I finally saw it from the right distance. For years, I thought it was standing over me. Turns out I was kneeling. The voice didn't shrink, I stood up. The voice I fear sounds like mine, but now my answer's back. Not with rage, not with denial, with truth. You failed, I learned you're behind. I'm moving, you're broken, I'm healing. You'll never change, watch me. The fear still speaks, but it no longer gets the last line. I started watching how quickly the voice appeared after mistakes. Missed one goal, you're lazy. Forgot one thing, you're useless. One person didn't reply, they're done with you. A small event, a massive verdict. That's when I noticed my mind wasn't reacting to today. It was dragging old evidence into every new room. The present kept paying for crimes committed by the past. So I asked, is this true? Nah. Does this feel true? Those are different questions. Feelings can be real without being inaccurate. Fear can be loud without being right. That realization saved me from believing every reach emergency. My mind invented, I learned the voice loves isolation. It gets louder when nobody else can challenge it. So I started speaking things out loud. I think I ruined everything. A friend said, you made one mistake. I think everyone hates me. They said, 3 people literally called to check on you. Reality was less dramatic than fear. That was almost disappointing, because anxiety had become a storyteller, and apparently it loved tragedy. Sometimes you need another voice to remind you your worst thought is not always your clearest one. I stopped treating reassurance like weakness. Sometimes I needed someone to say, you're okay. Not because I was incapable, because healing doesn't require you to become emotionally self-sufficient. Strength is not needing nobody. Strength is knowing who is safe to need. That sentence would have terrified the old me. Now it feels like freedom. What if the voice in your head gets louder every time you're close to becoming someone new? Not because you're failing, because old identities fight hardest when they know they're being replaced. Growth can sound like internal resistance before it feels like peace. I started writing down the accusations, then beside them evidence. You never finish anything, evidence. 3 things I finished this month. Nobody values you, evidence. Names of people who stayed, you're not talented, evidence. The work I kept improving, you always quit. Every morning I got back up the page, became a courtroom. But this time fear wasn't the only lawyer. The voice I fear sounds like mine, but now I bring receipts, every recovery, every lesson, every door I thought would destroy me, that somehow led somewhere better. I used to let one failure speak for my whole life. Now I make it take to stand alone. One mistake, one moment, one chapter, not my name. There were still bad days. The voice won for an hour, maybe 2 days. I believed the old sentences, but healing changed one thing. I came back faster, that matters. Recovery time is progress too. Nobody talks about that enough. You may still fall, but if you get up sooner, if shame keeps you for 1 hour instead of 1 week, that is growth, quiet growth. But healing is not never hearing the old voice again. Healing is realizing it no longer controls how long you stay down. That line may not look like victory, but for someone who spent years believing every thought, it is. I started catching comparison earlier, scrolling, seeing someone else's success. Immediately, you're behind. I paused. Behind who? By whose clock? According to what finish line? Comparison hates specifics. It survives on vague shame. So I became specific. They're there, I'm here. Different road, different timing, different story. That doesn't mean I'm losing. It means I'm alive in my own life. You cannot win a race you were never supposed to enter. The voice used to hate race, called it laziness. So I keep going until I had to learn that rest is no. I finally changed the voice in my head. Then fear asked one last question. What happens when you stop believing me? For years, fear had a job, warn me, protect me from getting hurt. So when I stopped listening, part of me felt guilty, like I was abandoning the thing that kept me alive. That's the strange part about healing. Even unhealthy patterns can feel loyal when they were there during in your worst years. I had to learn survival tools can expire, and gratitude doesn't mean you have to keep using them forever. Fear helped me through the fire, but it was never supposed to become my home. The voice I fear sounds like mine, but now I can hear the difference. One voice says, hide. The other says, be careful. One says, run. The other says, choose. One says, you're doomed. The other says, you've been here before and you survived. Both sound like me, but only one leaves room for tomorrow. I started noticing the tone. Fear was urgent, wisdom was steady. Fear demanded an answer, now wisdom said, sleep on it. Fear said, everyone is against you. Wisdom asked, who actually said that? Fear said, this feeling means danger. Wisdom said, oh, maybe it means discomfort. That distinction saved me from making permanent decisions inside temporary panic. I used to think calm people had easier lives. Now I know some of them just learn not to obey every alarm inside their body pieces. In the absence of noise, it's knowing which noise deserves action. I tested the new voice, not with easy things, with risk. I sent the message, submitted the work, walked into the room where comparison usually swallowed me. My hand shook, my mind said, leave. But another voice whispered, stay 5 minutes. 5 became 10, 10 became an hour. Nothing terrible happens. Sometimes courage is not do it forever. Sometimes it's stay 5 minutes. Small courage still counts. A trembling step still moves forward. Yeah, I stopped waiting to feel ready. Readiness had become another excuse fear could control. So I moved while uncertain, spoke while nervous, loved while cautious, rested while guilty. Every imperfect action taught my mind something new. Fear can be present without being obeyed. That sentence changed the rules. What if confidence doesn't come before action? What if confidence is the memory of surviving? What fear said you couldn't do? Maybe you don't need confidence to begin. Maybe beginning is how you build it. I began collecting new memories. First public mistake that didn't destroy me. First rejection I didn't turn into self-hatred. First difficult conversation where nobody left. First day I felt anxious and still got something done. These were ordinary moments, but to my nervous system they were revolutions. My mind had spent years studying danger. Now it was finally taking lessons in recovery.
The voice I fear
Sounds like mine, but my memory is changing. It remembers failures and recoveries, rejection and redirection, awkward moments, and the fact that everybody moved on. Pain and the days pain didn't win. Fear used to own the archive, now hope has files too. Yeah, I had to stop romanticizing my worst years. There was a part of me that felt special for surviving, like healing would erase the proof of how strong I had been. But strength isn't staying close to the battlefield so everyone can see your scars. Sometimes strength is moving so far into peace that the war stops being your introduction. You don't have to keep bleeding to prove you survived the wound. Some people will only recognize the hurt version of you. Let them be confused. You were not required to stay broken for continuity. The voice tried a new tactic, shame. You should have healed by now. I almost believed it, then I realized even healing can become another weapon if perfection gets involved. So I stopped measuring progress by whether I still struggled. Started measuring by what I did when struggle arrived. Did I ask for help? Did I pause? Did I speak kindly? Did I avoid all destruction? That was progress, not the absence of pain. A different response to it. A healed person can still hurt. They just don't have to become the hurt. I apologize to people I pushed away. Not all return that hurt, but accountability isn't a transaction. You don't apologize to buy someone back. You apologize because truth deserves to be spoken. Even if the ending stays the same, that lesson made me gentler with others, with myself. Some repairs restore relationships, others restore character. Both matter. I ask myself, if nobody forgives you, can you still change? The answer came quietly, yes. Because growth is not valid only when someone else witnesses it. That was freedom. I started trusting silence, not the punishing kind, the peaceful kind. The space between thoughts, the pause before responding, the morning before notifications. For years my mind filled every silence with accusation. Now I practice letting silence stay empty, nothing hidden, nothing coming, just quiet that felt more intimate than noise ever did. The voice I fear sounds like mine, but now it doesn't live in every silence. I began dreaming bigger, that scared the old voice. You'll fail publicly. Maybe. You'll embarrass yourself, probably. You'll regret trying. Maybe not. I finally understood fear loves guaranteed outcomes. Life doesn't offer them. So if uncertainty was unavoidable, I might as well be uncertain while moving towards something I actually wanted. You can spend your whole life avoiding failure and still fail to live that line. Hit me harder than rejection ever did, because safe feet can become the most comfortable way to disappear. I took the chance, not one, many. Some worked, some failed, but none killed me that mattered. Every failure returned me to myself with more evidence. You can recover. That became the strongest sentence in my mind. Not, you'll always win, that's a lie, but you can recover. That's freedom. What would you attempt if you trust in yourself to recover from failure? Not if you knew you would win, if you simply knew you would still be okay. If you didn't, that question can change your life. I stopped trying to erase the fearful voice, started thinking it. You were trying to protect me, but we're okay now. You can sit down. At first it sounded ridiculous, then something inside me softened, because fighting fear had kept me in constant war. Understanding it let me lower the weapon. The voice wasn't evil, it was scared, so was I.